everybody, and welcome. This is Diane Sansom, author and creator of the Woman on Purpose Mastery Program. So in my last video, I talked about the importance of having clarity about what it is that we really want to have in our life. And I went over the 5 main life dimensions where we want to really think about that. So in other words, what is it I want in my life personally? Relationship-wise, our inner circle relationships, also our work in the world, as well as community involvement and our spirituality. So we want to capture what direction are we trying to head in these dimensions. And then we talked about the problem people have when we get to what we called the crossroads of life. It's kind of that place where like lots of things can happen at the crossroads, but it's sort of like we want to make a change someplace in our life. We feel some kind of unrest. We could even be thinking like, what is the meaning of life? What am I meant to be doing? And what's my purpose? So lots of things can go on at the crossroads. It can be kind of big sometimes. So the problem for people is we get there and then we think, I don't even know what steps to take. I don't even know who to talk to about this problem. I can't even imagine how to unravel the hairball of this because there's all kinds of pieces in my life that would be affected by this. And it's true. Anytime we're making a change, like if it's a career change, it's certainly going to affect ourselves personally and also our relationships. So we're holistic beings. We have many dimensions to our life. What we said was the solution is to have a proven structure that we can lean into, one that gives us some right steps and supports us in the right way. So that's the whole of what my Women on Purpose Mastery program is all about, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So in this video, I want to teach you about something called the opportunity gap. I also like to think of it as the creativity gap. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Because here's the next problem that we have to solve. So we have some goals and desires of things that we want to accomplish over here, but then, we're over here. So it looks like this. Here's what I want, but here's my actual reality. And the gap can be small, but usually there's a few times in our life where it gets pretty big. And so we have to figure out what we're going to do with that space in between. But the space in between is the creativity gap. You can call it the opportunity gap. So it's where our hunger lies, that gap. The wider the gap, the more opportunity actually that exists for us. So that's the good news of all of it. But we all have to find out, what is this gap for myself and what's my part in creating it? Whatever I'm struggling with is part of how I've created it. But the key is to get in touch with our creative self, because we actually get to recreate it. And this is exactly what the Woman on Purpose is all about. It's recreating how we close the gap to go from here to here. Okay? The big goal around all of this for right now is to up our responsibility by inviting a new perspective. And the new perspective is, this is exciting. Okay? You're about to make some changes that are going to make your life better. And even though you don't yet know how, you're going to stick with me and we're going to go through all these building blocks step by step. Okay, so here's what's next. As I said, we've already taken a first pass at thinking about what it is we want for ourselves, in all these different dimensions of our life. And we've written down some objectives and goals. Okay, so now what we want to do is take stock of where we're at today. That's a really important building block. Everything has to start there. So we're going to seek to figure out what's right, wrong, missing, and confused in our life so that we can better optimize, change, clarify, and add in things. Okay? So one thing I just want to invite you to do, if you can grab a piece of paper, you can, pause this video. And I basically just folded it into 4 equal parts and separated it with lines. But once you have this, the 4 quadrants are going to be, in terms of our life, what's right, what's wrong, what's missing, and what's confused. So let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, let's start with the positives in our life, the things that are going well. And sometimes we tend to ignore them, but we want to start here because there's lots of good things in our life and we just don't think about them. We're busy. We have lots of opportunities, but sometimes they're kind of whispered at us. And so, like I said, we're so busy, we're not paying attention. But behaviorally, if you start with the positive, that's a good thing. So when you're kind of doing this inventory building, think of the 5 dimensions again: personal, relationship, work in the world, community, and spirituality, to see if those things kind of help you recall some of the things that you want to capture that are actually quite good in your life. The next section is called What is Wrong. I also like to call these first 2 things what's working and what's not working. So there might be a big list here on the next section, what's wrong or what's not working, but these are the things we want to change. So we can't fix what we don't own up to. We kind of have to just get really honest and not just think about the things that are 90% glaring problems, but sometimes there's things that are like 10% off that are eventually going to be a problem. So all we're trying to do is just capture truth here and just get a sense. Okay, no judgment, just curiosity. Inward looking problems, a lot of times we miss because other people don't notice them. But, obviously this is going to take a little brain and heart work to kind of come up with your list. The third section is called What is Confused? And these are the things that we want to clarify. So what do we do in confusion? We typically freeze. And sometimes we don't know if something is right, if it's wrong, we're just confused. So we want to write all those down. And you can just bullet these out. They don't have to be anything fancy. But when things are confused, they're kind of crying out, do a study, get more information. But that's how we do eliminate confusion, is through information. The fourth section is called What is Missing? And these are voids. And the problem with voids is they're super hard to see. It's not a right or a wrong or a confusion. It's just missing. It's like something that you want in your life that you just don't have. And that's the four main areas that for this exercise I'd like to invite you to take a look at. It's such an important building block for all the other work that's going to come ahead. We have to know what we want. We have to kind of know where things start now. It's like those 2 ends of the goalpost that I was just sharing with you. So this exercise is just a piece of Module 2 in the Woman on Purpose Mastery Program. The whole point of that is to continue figuring out kind of where your life stands today so that we can do all the exciting work that comes after. So thank you for joining me today, and be sure to join me next time, because what I'm going to do next time is walk you through your high contribution zone and how you figure out what that is. So thanks so much, everybody, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.